Please elaborate on the story.
What do you need elaboration on?
When, where, how, why?
After I turned 18, I moved out of my parents' house and I moved into a friend's place. I was confused as to how she was making so much money in the middle of downtown Toronto, yet still studying and not really ever going to work. So I asked her, I was like, hey, where's the money coming from? Because I know your parents don't have money. Like they were like lower middle class, you know? And she was like, oh, I do phone sex. And I was like, what, like OnlyFans? Like what the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about?
How is phone sex still a thing when OnlyFans exists?
Exactly. That was my thing. I was like, what do you do? Like OnlyFans? Like what you post nudes? Like that was my first reaction. And she was like, no, literal 1-800 fucking sex lines still exist.
Is Canada in the 70s or some shit?
That was a US and Canada one.
Sure.
And
sure.
Yeah, right. And she was like, we're always looking for girls if you want to do it. And I was like, you know what? Let me listen in on a few of the calls. I want to see what you're doing. I want to see like how involved this is. Because you have to realize that like I was still very Catholic at that point. So I was like, I don't know if this is going to be cool or
Very
what.
Catholic, a little autistic. Got it.
Yeah. Well, very autistic, but it's, you know. And so I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be cool with this. Like, you do you, but I don't know if it's gonna be cool for me. And I remember I sat in on her doing one, and the whole time was her just bitching this guy out for not being able to get hard. It was a 2.5-hour phone call of her screaming at him, fucking pretending to throw things, like making noise in a way that made it sound like she was throwing shit
So
around.
she's a fucking Foley artist?
Like, totally just all over the fucking place. And I remember just sitting back and be like, whoa, okay. And the company that we worked for had where like they could turn their webcams on so we could see them. But like obviously we weren't webcams. And the guy the whole time was just like limp dick and like crying, but begging for her to continue. And I was like, this is actually hilarious. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, that's so fucking funny. And after the call, she was like, so do you want to do it? I can message my boss and you can probably start like tomorrow. And I was like, yeah, I do. And that is the story of how I worked as a phone sex worker for like a couple months to make extra cash. And all I did was berate men on the internet.
Can you give me an example of what a session was like with you?
My main regular that paid me the most money, like I mean a lot of money. I bought my car. I did my down payment on a house with this money. His whole thing was that he was a pony boy. I see your face. Let me explain.
Yes, that's my face. Yes.
Yes. He wore little hooves on his feet and his hands, and he wore horse ears and a horse tail butt plug and a saddle on his back.
No blinders?
No blinders. There was a whole call we had about me berating him for not having nice enough gear because he wasn't a pretty enough pony boy. And the whole thing was that I had to pretend to be riding him and whipping him, but I had him whip himself for me because I was too good to whip him. He had to whip himself, that fucking slut. And the whole time, it was just me having him prance around his room, do all this different shit. I had him doing little jumps and skips and hops and then berating the shit out of him when he was bad at it. Like, I told him to do triple jump. You know that thing that you do in middle school? Yeah, had him do that. And he went, I don't know what you're talking about. I went, you fucking slug bag, do a triple jump. And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, you can fucking do it or you can whip yourself. And he was like, yes, mistress. And then he tried. And I had to try so hard not to laugh. So yeah, that's how a lot of this went. I would spend hours of my day just berating a pony boy.
It's a hard knock life.
It was.
I'm glad you survived.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm glad you made it here.
Yeah, we all go through our things.
I know. Yeah. It's fucking like war-torn Gaza over there.
I probably would have kept doing phone sex work had the site not gotten taken down.
Yeah, because people discovered, oh, wait a minute, there's actual pornography on the internet.
No, the site got taken down because we had multiple girls that were taking calls from, like, actual cannibals with, like, cannibal fetishes, and they would, like, pretend they would eat, like, steak and stuff and essentially do ASMR and pretend to be eating human beings, and, yeah, that, like, started a whole investigation, so the site got taken down.
That doesn't seem like a crime.
Yeah, except that they'd, like there were a few callers that were apparently actually eating human flesh that they had gotten off of the dark web.
No, I mean, it's not getting any more dead. It's
Yeah,
fine.
right.
Like, what's the problem?
And they were, like, super open about it on, like, online forums and stuff, so it got found, and then the site got taken down, which kinda blows.